going on, everybody? Welcome to Pick Central on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I'm your host once again today, Ben Mintz. Brandon Walker headed to Vegas for SummerSlam. Been doing some WWE content. I know he's very fired up about that. Robbie Fox also going, and SummerSlam actually on a Saturday, which is a little different. Usually the wrestling pay-per-views are on Sunday. Still got a solid crew holding down the fort. On my left, Marty Mush. And Marty, got to think you're in good spirits today.
I'm in great spirits. I'll let you get through the introduction before I speak my mind. I will not be here tomorrow. I'm going to La La Land, and I will be doing a video for Rough and Rowdy. Make sure you buy Rough and Rowdy. It's one of our best cards. It's next
August 27th.
Yep, next Friday.
Huge fight
week from tomorrow.
It's I'm interviewing QCP. He's got 8 million followers on TikTok. He's fighting Chef Donnie. We shot half the video yesterday, and it's unbelievable what Frank did yesterday. We went to Frank's apartment. We cooked. It was electric. Frank, I'll say it again. I tweeted it. I'd rather be with a drunk driver in a car than with him listening to the Mets while he's driving.
That sounds like going to hell in a bucket.
He was at a green light for 30 seconds. People beeping at him because he was screaming at the radio.
And they won.
And they won.
They won.
People forget they won.
Or he said yesterday they wouldn't win a game.
No, yeah, it was something.
Yeah, I'll be honest. That sounds like my personal hell on earth.
Yeah,
because I like Frank a lot. I think he's a funny personality, but I like nothing is more oil and water opposite to me than just the constant negative energy. Because like I'm one of the annoyingly positive people, and I know that like that can be too much sometimes. But like being around all that negativity it drives me crazy.
No, for sure. But shout out Frank. It's gonna be a very funny video. Check it out next week.
And the Mets did win last night. Well, I want to first, Big F, what's up, man? How are you?
Feel great, Mincy. Great trivia match yesterday. For those who didn't watch, you should definitely watch. There was a lot of shit talking. There was potentially a death threat. There was talks of fucking someone's mother at their own funeral. So
it's not nice.
If that doesn't put asses in seats, I don't know what does.
When does it air?
It already aired.
Okay,
so it's out right now.
I want to ask. So the matchup was you against Rico's teams after all that, and any thoughts on that?
That was the least of the beef, Mincy. It was. I don't even know if it was addressed. And Pat, serious beef. There was just Kirk versus just like everybody. What's going on?
I was trying to comment on the show.
I love Mincy. He was like a kid in school, guys got in trouble with his phone out, and he's just like trying to go like this.
I heard something. I was like, what is that? But yeah, it was absolute chaos. The ending was just insane. The whole match was insane. Watch it right now on YouTube, everywhere, on Twitter, wherever it is. It's fucking awesome match.
New team, the fellas. You, Nate, and Jack Mack?
Yeah, no, I feel good about the team. I think
I think Jack Mack's probably underrated. I feel like he's pretty good.
He was good. He was very good. It was a team effort. Definitely a team effort. Watch the match. Great match.
Awesome. Love the dozen. Love the
all time. Probably one of the all-time comebacks.
Yes, I saw that there was some smack talk with Minahan as well.
Oh, big time.
Well, Marty, let's jump into it. Yankees sweep.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, Yankees are the best team in baseball since July 17th. It's
a fact. Can't argue.
I do want to say something. When people are going to go back to my tweets in July and June, go for it. I am a rational fan. I am going to tell you when the team sucks. I'm going to tell you when the team's really good, and I'll tell you when something's wrong. At that time, they were the worst baseball team to watch ever. I hated watching them.
They were the most underachieving team maybe I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah. And
the amount of talent they had and the way they were playing was just – and especially because at that time, too, the pitching's been good now. The starting pitching has really been rock solid all year long, and at that time especially. The pitching was good, and the hitting – there's so much talent in the lineup, and it was just so bad they just weren't scoring any runs.
Yeah, and I said they sucked. But now the Yankees right now are the second – most talented team in baseball.
On paper,
on paper, I don't think that doesn't mean they're the Giants are a really good baseball team, but talent-wise, the Yankees, if you think about it, when you have LeMahieu, you have Judge, you have Gallo, you have Rizzo, you have Stanton, and you have Voit in your first six people in the lineup, and then you have Urshela and Sanchez, and then you could have Torres or Velasquez. Like, that's insane.
It's so deep.
But I'm here to talk about what they have been doing. And you know who you really have to talk about? The fucking Tampa Bay Rays. I know they're playing the Orioles, but we are the best record in MLB, and we've gained 2 games on them.
They've been
in a
awesome,
month.
man.
Two games in a month.
What the thing with the Rays is they do it every year where they have this lineup that's super deep. But when you look at it, like you said, like the Yankees on paper, like it just stands out to when you're like, wow, like Judge, Gallo, Rizzo, Stanton, LeMahieu, Voit, Torres, all these guys can hit big home runs. Whereas when you look at like the Rays lineup, like, but you see if you're a big baseball fan, you look at it, you're like, wow, you're like a Rosarina, Lowe, Choi, like all these.
Choi,
like,
I fucking can't
like
stand.
even like Franco, the
so
guy they
good.
just called up recently, is really good. Like they just have Wendell.
With Giant Lasagna, Wanny Peralta, Jolie Rodriguez, and everyone, we are going to be the World Series champions.
Wow.
I know we
Marty Mush, we are going to be World Series champions.
I know we are. And I'm not being a little
August
bitch
19th,
where we always get to the ALCS and drop the last. I don't even give a fuck. I'm going full in. Big Ever, you in with me.
I never left. I was annoyed.
No, you were in the same boat as me.
Of course I was.
I remember Tommy really.
No,
Tommy was worse.
No, let me refer. Of course I was. Like I was always I'll never stop watching the games. I'm never like the thing that I felt with this team was I've said it literally the entire year that I just felt I was worried about the way the team was built, that we just didn't have the starting pitching to win in the postseason. If things are going the way they are now, that has changed. And it's over like a pretty long sample size that Tyone's been awesome. Montgomery's been awesome. Luis Hill has come from the clouds and been a great pitcher. If Kluber could come back and be what
How much longer is he out?
It's like a start or two away.
Yeah, he's getting really close. He's been out for a long time.
Severino was one start away, then he got hurt.
Yeah, Severino at this point, I kind of just checked it. Like for him, it's just like if he comes back, great. I've kind of just accepted it's like he's not there. But I mean, with all the way the starting pitching's been, and just adding Rizzo and Gallo to the lineup, the lefties that we needed so desperately bad. Just how I know we get caught up in the postseason. Like the Yankees can be very home run or bust, and they still are a little bit. But I just think the lineup is so deep, and the starting pitching has been so good, and that if it continue to do that, we're a legit team. Like we're a team that can legitimately is built to win in the postseason.
And
of course I'm in on a World Series run. This really what it was for me. The second that they traded for Gallo, I was happy. When they made the Rizzo move, I was all the way back in, just because I was like, as long as the front office is in, I'm in. When you're making moves like that, like for Gallo, Rizzo, and Haney, who stunk but pitched great last night, if we can get, I just see him as a guy I don't want him pitching in the postseason. Probably I see him as this guy that ends up like.
And he's not. If he touches the ball in the postseason, I'll kill myself.
The only situation I see him pitching in the postseason would be pretty much if the first starter gets rocked, and then you kind of put him in to eat some innings like middle relief.
So there's one thing
hopefully that doesn't happen.
I do want to talk about something what someone said. While I say, TJ, can you pull up the Voit quote? The Yankees, what they're doing, what they never done, stealing bases. Judge stole 2 bases. Velasquez still do that.
Wade's been stealing a ton too when he's in.
They never do that. They're just playing, and you have to shout out Aaron Boone because I said I hated him, and he managed a hell of a game this past series. All right, Minty, I want to unbiased like how you take this Luke Voit quote.
Okay, let's see it.
It's today, just given, Rizzo's coming back, there's going to be maybe a little bit of a fight for some playing time there. Boone said he's going to take that day by day, but I'm just curious mentally where you're at right now and what you think key is for you to just be really performing your best at the plate kind of through some of that noise.
Yeah, I'm fine. I feel like I'm hitting my stride, after, getting a week's worth of games under me. And, I was top 10 MVP last year, and I've been a great player for this organization for the last 3 years. And, I'm not going down. I want to play. Obviously, I know it's going to be tougher with Rizzo, but, I deserve to play just as much as he does. And, I led the league in home runs last year, and I feel really good again. And obviously, the injury bug is the reason he's here, because of me. But, obviously, I hope Booney can do whatever he can to, try to get me some consistent at-bats.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I think he's a competitor and he wants to play.
Okay, so that's what I
don't think that was negative. I mean, if you're going to be a professional athlete, you damn sure better have confidence in yourself if you're going to succeed. So
with the media, when I realized with the media, like at first I didn't. At first gut reaction was like I didn't like it because he kind of called out Rizzo, and I was like, all right, we don't need turmoil when we're all winning. But then I read into it, I'm like, yeah, he was the MVP. Like he should want to play. You want that confidence in your guy. With the media, people are freaking out. They said he should be disciplined for what he said.
Oh, that's
that's
like crazy.
I know. And then I was
That's
like, all right,
crazy.
what are we doing? And I realized this when a player in the MLB, NFL, NHL, anywhere has a little bit of confidence in themselves and comes off as cocky, which he's not. Like he was the MVP. Like he was
in the top 10 MVP last year.
He was the
did
home
lead
run
the AL in
leader.
home runs. Yeah.
Like let the guy have some confidence. What's he gonna be like? Oh yeah, Rizzo's playing really well. I hope maybe like I'll back him up. Who the fuck's gonna want to say that?
No, and especially in the AL when we have a DH.
Yes.
Like really, when I saw Hubs tweet out a bunch, and I felt this way for a while. Like Stanton just needs to play the outfield.
And he's been playing better when he's playing
That's
the
what I'm
outfield.
saying. Like I feel like you have less time just in your head thinking about those bad swings, strikeouts. You don't have all that idle time that you're kind of just sitting in the dugout just waiting for your next at bat. He needs to play the outfield and just have Judge probably play a little center, Gallo play left.
And switch Gallo and Judge in center all the time. But the thing is Luke Voit is not like Rizzo is an unbelievable first baseman. Just put Voit the DH and we're an elite team. And I know that's enough Yankees talk.
Yeah. The chat is.
I could give a fuck what the chat thinks. I could honestly
Shout out the chat boys. though.
shout out to
love the
chat.
chat boys.
Fuck you though. The Yankees. I'm watching the
No,
Yankees.
I'll
right
say
now. I don't
this.
give a
Look,
fuck.
I'll answer
No,
the
the-
chat.
the
I'll
Yan-
answer the chat on this. When the Yankees sweep the Red Sox, we're
You're
getting ready
allowed to
finish
talk.
it.
like,
We're
Yeah.
gonna. I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm a South guy, but we're gonna talk about this.
And when we were double-digit games out, and now we're legitimately, if the season ended right now, we'd be hosting the wild card game.
Yeah. So piss off for my little
This is a World
Yankees.
Series team.
No,
It's also the
look,
only sport on TV right now.
Yeah,
no,
that's
I'm not arguing it. I'm one.
No, I
I
know.
want to come
I'm
in and
not
talk
on you.
Yankees.
That's chat. I mean,
Listen, and we know in the whole life. See, me and Marty are kind of I think we're the most the goon bots as most Yankee fans that we probably have. The Red Sox.
yeah.
We're
I'm
gonna
go tell the Red
we're gonna
Sox
slap our dicks on the table.
that
and
the
tell you
Red
about
Sox
it.
are a joke. You're an absolute joke. I actually don't think the Red Sox are going to make the playoffs.
They just
I
don't
think
have
they're
the
gonna-
stuff.
I feel like they peaked early.
Yeah.
Me and Marty have said it all along. I remember we talked about at the All-Star break. I said the Giants I thought would stay. The Red Sox, the starting pitching just wasn't there. Like you knew eventually it was gonna fall. These guys like Pivetta and Evaldi, Tanner Hoke, and these guys
Tanner
like
Hoke.
they're sucking Tanner Hoke's dick. He stinks. Like these guys are not starting pitchings that I didn't think they were gonna win in the postseason. Now they're starting pitching that might not even get you to the postseason.
Also, shout out the White Sox for beating the
smacking
shit out
on
of the
the
A's,
A's.
and we're just
going for the 4-game
we're
sweep
hosting
at 2
we're hosting a playoff game right now. So thank you.
There you go.
God, that atmosphere is so electric at Yankee
Sick.
Stadium. A do or die game in the Bronx in October.
Oh, that'd
my
be
God.
awesome. I guess, and you got to feel good if the Yanks have Garrett Cole pitching that game.
Oh
too.
yeah,
that's
for
part,
sure.
That's part of having him.
That's what you gave him $330 million for. Win that game.
Either way, I feel like the vibes around here when the Yankees get hot. It's kind of the Knicks. I felt it a little bit when the Knicks were good too. Like
The Knicks,
New York
the
coming
Knicks
off.
is different because the Knicks is so much more like there's a little more of a playfulness to it.
Okay.
Whereas the Yankees,
It's expected.
It's like if we don't win the World Series, this season's a failure. Where the Knicks, I'm like ready to like just fly through the sky just for being like the 4 seed in the East.
All right, guys, let me tell you all about Cuts Clothing. It's their 5-year anniversary. Whether you're hustling for a promotion, working on your golf swing, or just chilling with friends, Cuts Clothing keeps you feeling good and looking sharp. To mark 5 years of creating clothing that can be dressed up or down for anything, Cuts is having a month-long anniversary celebration. Cuts is premium with a purpose. Each piece is crafted with custom-engineered fabric and a comfortable fit without compromising on timeless, universally flattering style. They're doing this 5-year anniversary so big with 2 collection drops, a product launch, and a week-long special event. So join the celebration now and get 15% off site-wide by going to cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/picks for 15% off and access to anniversary events all month long. I know y'all are big fans of Cuts Clothing. We are going to throw the phone line up.
Wearing it right now, Mincy.
Oh, yeah, looking loose
It's a
fitting.
great shirt. I get the elongated.
There you go. Well, we're going to throw the phone line up, too. We'll take calls. I want to get into the NFL a good bit today. I know we've been talking a lot of college football when B-Walk's back next week, week 0, next Saturday. Guys, it's going to be here before we know it. I mean, hell, dude, we're 9 days away from football kicking
Unreal.
off.
A week from Saturday. It's always tough. I don't want to be the negative Nancy. I looked at this. I looked at the full schedule yesterday. It's always hard because you get so excited for that week 0, and it is going to be so exciting. But it's not like you don't get the full slate. It's that next Saturday that you really get to just dive in, just plant your ass on the couch from noon to probably 1 in the morning, and it's the best day ever. It's literally just like Christmas. Just getting that first like real full dosage of football.
Talking about the Labor Day Saturday?
Yes, all day. Like week 0 is great. We get, I think it's like a 12 o'clock game, a 1 o'clock game, a 2 o'clock game ish, and then like 2 like 8 and 9 games that are smaller teams that I still will certainly watch. Like I think it's like Southern Utah versus maybe like San Jose State or something like that in the later slate. So like not the most like crazy big games. But we got some early ones that are decent. We got a Big Ten game. We got Hawaii and UCLA. So a couple things to get to. A little appetizer.
Next weekend, actually, with our Rough and Rowdy and then the huge Showtime fight, Paul against Woodley, that Dave and Dan are part of, and week 0. Not a bad sports weekend.
Great sports weekend.
It's unbelievable.
Right, this might be the best Rough and Rowdy. Pac-Man versus Bobby Lang is going to be fucking awesome.
You also have 2 of the most probably Jake Paul believers in this room right now. The only in this probably office.
Actually, that's something I wanted to. So, I've been a Jake Paul believer. I'm
no.
I'm just going to explain to you why. I'm just going to explain to you why. I think it's a very rational take from someone like myself, who has never stepped in a boxing ring, who hasn't fought in an MMA cage, whatever. Jorge Masvidal, I know, has worked with both of them pretty closely. And I watched the interview he did yesterday that it literally was like live yesterday. So it wasn't like months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was yesterday. He thinks that Tyron Woodley's going to knock him out, and that scares me because I think I'd be stupid to not say that Jorge Masvidal knows much more about fighting than I do.
He does. He definitely does.
Easily. Like not even close.
He definitely does. And I don't know. I really don't know why. I believe in Jake Paul.
He started to swing me back that how, like, really think, like, really sit and think how different Ben Askren and, like, a Tyron Woodley is.
Oh, it's
like, Tyron Woodley is going to, like, he's been knocked out, but he's been knocked out by, like, the best welterweight UFC fighters on planet Earth right now.
It's a different
Not
world.
by just some, and I think Jake Paul has real skill, real power. He's real speed. He's a legitimately bigger guy. For me, it's just one of those things where it's not going to be like the last 2 fights where he walks in, puts a clean right hand on you, and they're out.
No,
like
for
Woodley's
sure
not going to do that.
He
has a chin. He's a real guy. He's a real fighter that can really throw hands. Has real knockout power, and we're going to get to see Jake Paul's chin because we really haven't seen him get touched yet, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I was thinking that I don't think Jake Paul's going to knock him out. I think it's just going to go I kind of think it's going to go the distance.
But see, if it goes the distance, that favors Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He had the guy's fought over 20 times he's probably 30-ish professional UFC fights. He's a real or MMA fights. He's a real guy. He's old though. He is old. He's clearly he is not in his prime.
That's where
boxing is something that he is good at. It's not his number one trait. He was a wrestler by trade. He was a great wrestler in college. He's more of a use the power right hand to set up the takedowns in an MMA setting. Obviously, you don't have that anymore, but he's a real athlete compared to a Ben Askren who just was a great wrestler but has 0 hands, or
I just think
Nate Robinson who has no idea what he's doing in a boxing ring and really should have never even been in that fight in the first place.
I just think that Jake Paul is smart enough to he knows he's picking his opponents for a reason.
I want Jake Paul to win, and I'm still going to stick with my take the whole time that I think he's going to. But when a guy like Jorge Masvidal just blatantly is he's going to get knocked out, it scares me because I just know that guy knows fighting, and I know he's hung out with Jake Paul, he's a friend of Jake Paul. Mm-hmm. He literally helped him, was training with him, and was trolling Ben Askren at the press conference with him and shit. He got him on FaceTime, so he likes Jake Paul. I don't think he really is I know he knows Woodley, and I believe he's pretty friendly with Woodley, but I don't think he is a crazy dog in either fight. I think he was just kind of saying what he feels. But Jake Paul is much bigger than him, which I think people are sleeping on. They're doing this bout at 190. Tyron Woodley was the 170 champ.
Yep.
He's coming up 20 pounds heavier than what he would normally weigh in. He's obviously a brawler guy. He's jacked, but he's also 5'9". And Jake Paul's 6'1".
It's a huge difference in boxing.
I think that matters more in boxing than it does in the UFC.
For sure.
You see big shorter guys, it doesn't matter.
Because Woodley can go in and take him down in a UFC. He can't do that. And the reach, that's why Jake Paul, I think all his opponents, he's had the reach on him, and he's just, I don't know, I believe in him.
I do too. Listen, the Vegas has him at -150. Like, I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
I think there's some legitimacy to that.
Well, big fight weekend, R&R next week, one of the best cards we've had. We got the Paul Woodley. Guys, I'm ready to talk some damn NFL. I'm getting in the spirit of football season.
Start that FF pod.
Yeah. So we released the first FFF pod. Well, we're taking over. Big shoes to fill. Nick, Tronny, Roan, and Hank. Me and Shay aren't those guys, but we're gonna crush it. We're going to be very, very knowledgeable. We've got all kinds of plans for it. We released our first episode earlier this week, getting positive, good feedback, which I'm excited about.
Awesome.
Yeah, very excited about it. It's going to be once a week. We're going to do a Sunday morning thing on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel after the pro football show. We're going to do like actives, who start or sit, run through gambling lines, and then we're also going to do videos with the sportsbook for props on Thursday night and Monday night primetime games. So a lot of fun stuff planned. Follow at FF Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Guys, I want to get into just today, anybody, sleepers, overrated teams, just some NFL stuff going into the season. I'm starting to get really, really excited about it. I've been doing a good bit of research, getting it going. I'm curious, first of all, how do y'all think this Green Bay thing goes this year with Rodgers' The Last Dance? Because he had like one of the best seasons ever last year, won the MVP, had a top 3 QBR ranking ever, but now they're doing this Last Dance thing. I just studied the NFC North last night. Do you think Green Bay comes in and dominates, or do you think they fall a little bit?
No, I think they're going to be, like, to some degree, pick up where they left off in the sense that even though obviously, yes, like they've had the crazy, this like tumultuous offseason that's been very public, at the same time, like this beef with the organization has been going on for a long time. Like it didn't just happen. Like it was going on all through last season as he was tearing the league apart and winning another MVP award and getting to another NFC Championship game. Like I still think they're right there. The defense, obviously, what scares you, but like the offense, I have no doubt that they're going to score a ton of points and that they're going to they're obviously the favorite. And I still right now would 1,000% pick them to win the NFC North.
I think that, it's been going on for so long, and Aaron Rodgers it's a business no matter what, and he's going to still dominate. He's a competitor. You could tell he that's not going to hold him back. I think that's just all bullshit, and I don't think we know all the things that are going on. Like there's obviously, if he's able to suit up and play and everyone's still going to want to play for Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say, too, from the camaraderie thing where, obviously he has this disdain with the front office. But once you get on the field, you're playing for your guys. Yeah. And if you even listen to his little monologue where he kind of said, he basically kind of told his whole side of the story, a big part of it was the Packers, not riding for their guys. And that was pissing him off. I like that about him because I was he seems like a guy who really cares about his teammates, cares about his people, was really pissed off that they didn't get even a handshake or thank you on their way out for playing some great years for them, going some deep playoff runs, even some guys that won the Super Bowl back when they did. It just was, I think he really cared about those guys, and that was what ticked him off the most. So once you get in the white lines, you're not thinking about the GM, you're not thinking about the president. You're thinking about you playing with your guys for your guys and winning games. He's shown through the animosity that he can do that.
Yeah, it seemed like him and LaFleur connected in their second year in that offense because, man, he was just – everybody thought they were a fluky 13-3 2 years ago, and they got smoked by the Niners in the NFC Championship. And then last year, obviously they came up just short to Tampa. But got to think they're the big favorite. Do y'all think the Vikings can challenge them this year? Minnesota's defense kind of fell apart last year, but getting Danielle Hunter, who's one of the best DNs in the NFL, back, Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr back, you got to think they're going to be better on defense. And with Dalvin Cook running the ball and Justin Jefferson, they got some weapons.
I think they're going to stink.
Vikings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to be very good. I think I saw their odds to win. I think I have it up. Their odds to win the Super Bowl is plus 4,500.
Okay.
And I was looking at I don't know why I was looking at the Vikings so much, but you're right. The defense was a huge.
It cratered last year, and it's been so good under Zimmer for 6 or 7 years. But
I think when you think of Vikings, you're always their defense is good,
Yeah,
but
Zimmer,
it's been shitty, and I don't know. They don't do it for me. I don't think they're going to be very good this year.
I'm still remembering the Alvin Kamara 6 touchdowns on Christmas with the Santa cleats last year. Saints threw up 52. I do think I think the defense improves. I don't think they can necessarily beat Green Bay out for the division, but I do think Minnesota's going 9-8 or 10-7.
I just think especially without Diggs, I feel like they really felt that a lot more than they thought they would. I think he just took such an explosive weapon away from their offense. Their recipe for winning is going to be it's going to be getting all these defensive guys back, playing great defense, and just running the ball. And if they can do that, like I think, like I just don't think their ceiling is that high. Like I just think they're like I think what you predicted, I feel like a 10-7 is like their ceiling. I just don't see them being like an 11-12 win team. I really think it's more likely they're like an 8-9 team. That's kind of where I see them. Just like not a terrible team, but just not a good team, not a playoff team.
I could be wrong, but I feel like this is one of the most well-balanced years in the NFL where there's a ton of really good teams, I think. I don't think it's very top-heavy.
It's always one of those things this time of year. You get excited, but then the body count piles up because you just never know what's going to happen.
The injuries, yeah.
Well, but you look at August. You're just always optimistic about a lot of things. Like you're always playing what's their ceiling. But I mean, most teams aren't going to reach. Well, you look
at the NFC. Green Bay is obviously going to be really good. NFC North, Vikings should be pretty good. The whole NFC West is fascinating.
Yep.
I mean, even Arizona's the pick 4 team. I mean, San Fran, Seattle, the Rams, and Arizona. Lots to like on all fronts in that
especially
division.
the Rams.
So let me go through right here the top 8 teams to win a Super Bowl.
Okay,
on odds right now, right?
Yeah.
So I want to do top 8 teams, and I want to go below that after because there is some teams that can like make a little bit of noise. So you have the Chiefs at plus 475, obviously. Bucks plus 650, obviously. Then it goes way to plus 1200 with the Bills and the Packers, so that's top 4.
Makes sense.
And then you have the Ravens, Rams, and 49ers at plus 1,400. And then you have the Browns at plus 1,600. That's top 8. And then you still have the Seahawks, the Titans. We don't know what the Colts with what's going on there.
There's a lot of questions there. But they're saying Wentz is trying to get back sooner than people think.
And we really don't know. And then you have and then it drops a little bit to the Cowboys and then the Chargers. And the Cowboys, like, you never know with them because of Dak. And you don't
this Dak shoulder thing's concerning me a little bit right now. They say his leg should be fine, but they're holding him back for shoulder stuff. Apparently, he was like throwing Hail Marys, messing around, and like strained his shoulder. That's not good.
No,
I didn't realize that was the reason. I mean, I thought it kind of just.
I heard something like that.
But do you think, like, sleeper wise, which I feel like everyone would say if you like, and I am the worst, and I hate when people say value, but like the Cardinals at plus 4,500.
I knew that's what the team you were going to say.
And it's just like easy team because you think their offense, and you're like, oh, J.J. Watt's on the defense. It's like, I don't think that they're going to win the Super Bowl, but like if you're going to take a flyer on someone, that's not an awful one.
But yeah, the thing with them is the upside, if it breaks right, is tremendous. Like, I don't know if it will, but the upside with all the talent on offense, and then J.J. Watt, you got Chandler Jones, Isaiah Simmons, the Clemson kid, looks really good. They got some speed, though. Their first-round pick, the Tulsa kid, Xavier Collins. Yeah, dude, he's a freak, too.
And also crazy, I don't know if he can be a factor or not anymore. People forget this. They signed A.J. Green.
Yeah.
That name, I know he hasn't been healthy in forever, and it's not really like
Burrow tried to force
it. It's a name that you'll bet on him early because you'll be like, oh my God, they got Hopkins.
Me and Big Ev are like, we signed Kelvin Benjamin. We're like, man, if he still got a little bit in him from when he was on the Panthers, we got
Panthers. I'm like, man, remember that national championship game winning touchdown when he was 70 pounds ago?
What about another team that's plus 4,500? The Steelers.
The Steelers are fascinating. I keep going back and forth. Well, there's stuff to like.
For sure.
No, the defense should be awesome. I know they lost Bud Dupree, but the defense should still be really good. On offense, the biggest concern is the O-line. The O-line's really in flux.
It almost like I feel like they didn't really do much to improve it. They lost Villanueva too. Like it almost like, am I crazy to say it got worse? I need to look at
I don't like the most of DeCastro.
They lost and Villanueva. I would need to like see exactly who else they brought in to fill that. But I mean,
So Matt Canada's the new OC, but then you look at Pittsburgh. I'm a huge Najee Harris believer, like monster. We've been arguing a bunch about that on the FFF pod. But I think he's a 3-down back. He's built like a Mack truck. You know, y'all saw the spin move against Notre Dame.
No, dude,
he can catch the ball like a receiver. I think he's going to help them a lot. And then I like the receiving core combo of Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Deontay Johnson.
Claypool's okay, right?
Claypool's really good.
I mean,
he got hurt. They said he should be all right.
I like the way he can catch the ball down the field, especially in the red zone.
If they just got to stay off TikTok.
Yeah, well, the O-line thing, it's interesting because Pittsburgh was 11-0 last year, but everybody thought it was smoke and mirrors, and then they kind of fell apart down the stretch. Yeah. They're plus 425 to win the AFC North because Cleveland and Baltimore, and that's another debate. Who do y'all like more, Cleveland or Baltimore?
I might sound crazy. I like the Browns. I'm not a Ravens believer.
No, just not a Lamar guy.
I'm a Lamar guy actually, but I'm just not a believer in him in the playoffs, which is tough.
I'm just a believer in Harbaugh as a coach, just their organization in general. I'm just a believer in like the culture with the Ravens. Like they're just a team that you know is going to be there at the end, and it's kind of the thing where everyone doesn't get over the hump till you do. So like I'm not going to count Lamar Jackson out like he just can't win because he's lost a couple playoff games very early in his career.
I agree with that. I don't think you can't write him off. He's never going to get over the hump.
People are too quick to see you lose one playoff game, 2 playoff games.
But you also
Brandon talks a ton about that.
But you do have to.
You're a loser. You can't win. Like the guys, he's played for a couple years. He's been really good. They haven't won in the playoffs. And admittedly, he played bad, especially last year. He did not play well, especially throwing the ball. He did not play well in the playoffs in that Bills game.
But you have to look at the other side, too, because I agree with you. I don't think you write him off. I don't think that you can't get over the hump. But he has been really shitty in the playoffs.
No, 100%.
And it's like it has to be talked about. You can't just and I agree with you. I don't think you should write him off. He's a great quarterback. But I don't know. The Browns, man, I love that.
They're fun.
I love that offense. And
they got something going.
Well, they made really last offseason. Cleveland was so smart, the Stefanski hire working out, but they invested in the O-line. They signed Jack Conklin, the right tackle from Tennessee, and then they drafted Jedrick Wills, first round from Bama. And that was so smart to focus on the running game and take pressure off of Mayfield with Chubb and Hunt. But then you can run all the play action with Mayfield, with Baker, who's still really good. He just doesn't need to be throwing it 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah.
No, he's a guy
and now they found that balance.
I feel like I put Mayfield in this weird space where he's not in that elite top 10 group, but I also put him I wouldn't call him a game manager. I think that's selling him short. He's better than that. I think he falls kind of in that fringe, somewhere in between there, that middle.
I would definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't. I agree. I don't.
He's better than game manager, but he's not I don't think he's a top.
He
10
makes things happen.
The thing with Cleveland is I'm curious now how will they deal with success finally. Because last year it was a great story. They were hyped to the moon 2 years ago, then let everybody down. Then last year, incredible year, winning a playoff game. That especially getting smacked in Pittsburgh
and played tough against Kansas City.
Oh yeah,
very. Mahomes got hurt at the end. They gave him everything they could handle.
They
sure.
did.
I think they're going to be able to handle success. I think so too. I think they're going to be back to where they were last year.
Stefanski's been a great hire.
Yeah, a great hire. And I don't know. I just that offense and obviously Odell was hurt last year.
I wondered if at this point with Odell.
I know.
I feel like the upside is still there, but it's you don't want to count on anything. And if you get something, it's
So that's why I almost think it's better for him, where it's he's not even doesn't even have to be the Odell he had to be on the Giants, the guy and making all the plays. If he even gives you a little bit, that Browns team's going to be unreal. No,
that's true. Especially if you can stretch the field off the play action.
Yeah, and
Landry can work underneath.
Let me tell you, I missed that cross route, and he just fucking runs
for 70.
Oh,
yeah, you catch him in stride.
When he puts
yards.
the burners on, no one's catching him. When he gets going on that straight line, he just catches that crossing route and just the slant and just goes.
I just want to see him love
over.
Football again. I question how much he really loves it.
But I think he does. I think the problem is I actually liked. I read I think Jeff posted it about how kind of people have this misconception of him just being this bad teammate because of some of the tirades in the Giants sidelines and things that happen. And everyone, they talk about how he's the kind of guy that even he sees, say, the lady that works in the cafeteria at the facility, needs something. He goes out of his way to get it. And he's that kind of guy with his teammates too, that he's this nice guy. And I remember even Dave talking about it, that he always hated him. And then I think it was Grutman or somebody in Miami said, I promise you meet him, you're going to love him. And he met him and he loved him.
Dude, yeah.
I think it's just the misconception that he's this bad guy, this bad teammate. And I think that kind of goes into trickles into the loving football or not. Well, I think he just had some bad health stuff. Last year, the thing we talked about the most was getting pooped on.
Yeah, for sure. But you have to think about this too. When he was on the Giants, right? He went to stardom in really fast.
That catch was I'll never forget
that's
watching
the
that
thing.
live.
That happened.
That just changed his whole bang.
And
done.
Snap of the fingers, top 3 receiver in the league.
And the rest of the year.
Overnight famous.
And not even just that catch, and then the rest of the year just went berserk.
Yeah, it's great.
Games.
And then and you think about it, gets in your head. It's definitely you're I need to be this player. And then obviously the Giants start sucking. And he's
the boat thing. He played really bad in that playoff game against the Packers. He had a few bad.
And then he's
drops.
throwing his helmet at the kicking thing, and then things just go down, and people think he's awful. But then he goes to the Browns and he gets hurt, which sucks. And
he's been banged up a bunch. I think people forget that.
And then now I almost think that this is a good year for him, where it's hey, Do it. Go back to being you and do like you're not the guy here right now. So just and if you want to be, you can be probably.
I think it's one of those situations where like everyone expecting so much of him, and then now once finally the expectations calm down, then you just shoot back up again.
It's also
which
stuck
I could
in
see
my
him
head
having a year like that.
That what's his name? Was it Ramsey said that he's the hardest person that?
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey said
Was
that.
it?
He said he was
right?
up there. He said I think he said Hopkins won, but he listed 3 guys, and Odell was one of them.
Yeah, that he
said
like
when he's like when he's
Ramsey
healthy
doesn't
and
give credit to hardly anybody.
No, that's why I was
said,
like.
he said when he's healthy and he's on, like there is no one that like he's just the most dynamic guy in the league.
Yeah.
High praise.
If he can just stay healthy,
Seems like we
stretch
like
the
the
field
Browns.
for him.
Yeah, no, I definitely. I mean, they were right there last year.
Y'all both got Cleveland over Baltimore to win that division.
I do.
I'm like talking myself into it right now, a little bit.
I feel like Cleveland. It's like they're so like such a likable thing too. They're a little bit of.
They are. So it's the lovable losers
exactly.
that are like
Everybody just wants to see them do well.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I just wanted to say quick, so out of that list, so before he listed kind of the odds, who would you guys like if you had to put money on someone and take odds into consideration? Obviously, I think the team I'd pick in terms of like the team and the odds. I think the Rams plus 1,400. That's the one that stuck out to me the most. Like I just think they're a team that's built to win regular season and built to win the postseason with that defense. And Matt Stafford just is such a game changer in my opinion over Goff. I just think at that number, at that price in the NFC, not having to go against the Chiefs, like I feel like that's strong.
Yeah, I love the Goff to Stafford move too. I've said this several times and I'll reiterate it. Everybody knows it's an upgrade, but I think it's like a Titanic upgrade.
I think so too.
I mean, I think McVay's been scheming and trying to make Goff window dress Goff forever. You know, they've run more. He threw for way more yards off play action than anybody for years.
I think that big season they had, like I think he got the most out of Goff that you possibly could get. Like, I kind of think that the big year when they made the Super Bowl, like that regular season, like I just feel like that was Goff's ceiling. Like, I don't know if it gets better for him than that.
No, I agree with that. Also, when you look at the Rams offense, I think Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee can both flourish this year.
Big time.
Stafford's going to love that. You still got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I've been saying how much I like the Niners, too. I think they're going to bounce back.
They're going to be back.
I think they're going to bounce back strong. And everybody's forgetting about Seattle, who wins a ton of games every year. But I don't know. I just feel like their overall talent – like, they've got some top-end guys, obviously Russ and DK, and, you know, Bobby Wagner's still tearing it up so many years in. They've got guys, but I don't think they're on the same levels.
The team defense for them is tough. Like you said, they have Wagner, they have what's the name who just signed the extension, Jamal Adams, but
Jamal Adams just got 4 years, $70 million.
Their defense has been trouble for them. Like they've kind of the way their team was built just kind of is totally flip flopped.
I'll say it again. Where I think we've talked about it, so we don't have to beat it down, but like the 49ers are getting a little too much praise for not knowing who's going to play quarterback.
Well, no, Jimmy G's going to start week 1.
Jimmy G's going to start, but the thing is that like they almost won the Super Bowl with him 2 years ago.
But that's the thing where I think that was like almost too much of a fluke where he needs to do a little more than that, and he hasn't at all. And he's been hurt. He's been hurt, but then like. Whether you have Lance, like I don't know. I think it's almost like I think that's way too much credit right away.
It's fair. I just think if you just obviously quarterbacks is obviously important. No shit.
Biggest thing.
Yeah. But I'm saying around him, the defense is so good. The O-line is so good. Like
running game,
the D-line's incredible.
Calling.
They have a plethora of running backs. They have a great play caller. Like I just think the things around them are built so well that this team is going to win. Either with him or in spite of him, they're still going to win. The thing with Trey Lance is he didn't even play football last year.
I know.
And he's playing at North Dakota State. Like, not to say that the guy can't be good, but I just think it's tough. It's different than throwing in like a Lawrence or Fields right away, who had started for like 2 full years in college.
And played at Clemson or Ohio State.
Yeah, exactly. Or as versus to a guy who started for, I think only 1 year did he start at North Dakota State, and missed all of last year where they just played like 1 game against Central Arkansas. So, like him playing in the preseason, he really hadn't played live football in a long ass time.
Yeah, I'll admit it was just funny seeing social media go off when he threw that bomb touchdown, but he ended up like 5 for 12.
That's what I was going to say. Do you see his other numbers?
I was like, I tweeted it.
He threw an 80-yard touchdown, and then he ended up like 5 for 14 for like 120 yards.
Yeah, it was like that one pass, basically. And I was guilty of it, too. I retweeted it.
It was a great pass.
It was a great throw, and the guy's just getting his feet wet. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, like he's going to stink. He's getting his feet wet. He's just a guy that it's going to be tough to just throw him in there week 1. Like
No,
I just don't see that happening.
You're probably right on that front, but I still think they're going to be really good with Shanahan with that running game and defense. They just had literally on that Niners team last year, everybody got hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was
everybody across the board.
Just a tough year. Like,
and then having Kittle back this year too.
Yeah, Kittle's going to be huge.
Bosa, like all these guys.
Oh man, so I think that's going to be.
And they had even running, like even just. Like you said, all the running backs they have from Moser just picked up Trey Sermon, who obviously that's my guy.
He can come on second half.
That dude's a beast, man. I'm telling you. I know him, but you watch that Northwestern game. You watch even the playoff game against Clemson. That dude is a fucking tank. He just looks like a grown ass man. He's a beast.
We also got to talk a little preseason real fast.
Go for it. King of the preseason.
Played some games today.
Well, we're gonna have to watch for Saturday. Little fucking Mitch Trubisky starting against the Bears.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yep.
Is this a revenge game, or is he gonna be too nervous?
No, I
think it's revenge.
You know what it is, dude? I think that he's just happy that someone wants him, and it's not that like everyone hates him. Everyone's like almost rooting for his failure, pretty much with the Bears. It's like I think that he's happy with the Bills with Josh Allen with him there, like two young guys. I think he's gonna want to beat the shit out of him.
I mean, he just obviously he wasn't great. I don't think at times he was as bad as people made him out to be. The biggest problem for him was just that he got drafted before Mahomes and
Well,
Wentz.
the biggest problem is Ryan Pace is a dumbass for doing that and traded up against no one.
But I'm
trading
saying just the fact that you had two elite young quarterbacks that went after him, and one looking like he might be the best quarterback that's ever played football. It's just that hurts. That's just gonna fuck your legacy.
It's seriously it's not his fault.
No, it's not.
Why are you drafting Trubisky?
And I read a whole thing that they didn't even meet. He had no inkling that they were gonna take him really beforehand. I don't even think they really met with him seriously. I'm pretty sure they.
A lot of times NFL does that to try to not letting it tip off at people who they like.
Wasn't it the story? I remember Big Cat.
No one was gonna take him there.
Wasn't the story that they I think Paige talked about? He loved him because he drove a shitty car. And he thought that was such a humble thing for this star young quarterback.
You know what? During Hard Knocks,
this college quarterback.
What is this the draft day?
Yeah.
I swear, I remember reading this one article.
This dude didn't have enough people come to his birthday party.
You know what though?
It was the reverse. Oh, he drives a shit car.
I was watching I remember it was the Bengals Hard Knocks, and Gio Bernard drove a minivan, and I was like, man, this guy's gonna be good. He's got grit. This guy, he doesn't give a fuck about the nice things.
That's what Pace saw. He saw a dude that's 6'4", decent arm. He was like, man, he drives a fucking. The guy drives a 92 fucking Civic all around North Carolina. I was like, this guy's something.
That guy needs to get. I need to trade up to get him at 2. Because
guys in 2019 still rolling up his windows this.
Nobody was going up.
The guy rolls up his windows. You think he can throw to the left?
He would have been drafted probably 15th overall, right?
Who knows?
Let me tell you all about NASCAR headed to the great Midwest in the home of the automobile at Michigan International Speedway. With only 2 races left until the NASCAR playoffs, these Cup Series drivers will be putting it all on the line to win this race. And the Barstool Sportsbook is offering exclusive bets for you to get in on all of the action and win big. A lot to bet on with NASCAR. Stay tuned for our picks later this week, and be sure to tune in to the NASCAR Cup Series at Michigan International Speedway this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network. Ev, following up on the Bears. We kind of touched on this before. How soon does Justin Fields start?
I think he should right away, and that's not even a homer thing. I think that's just a Andy Dalton stinks thing. I just think with Andy Dalton, you know what you're getting. Well, no, but he does stink. He didn't when he was on the Bengals. He didn't stink. When you look at the situation he was in last year with the Cowboys, great offense around him, and they stunk. They stunk. Great receivers. Great running back, solid offensive line, and he stunk. If you cannot play well with the things he had around him in Dallas, he damn sure cannot do it in Chicago. And Chicago, their situation isn't terrible. They have an elite receiver, Allen Robinson. They have a decent O-line. Montgomery's come into his own as a solid back. Tariq Cohen's a solid piece in that offense. They have guys there. I just think Dalton's just you're doing nothing with Dalton.
That's my thing too.
Fields,
the upside. What's the upside of starting Dalton 9-8 maybe?
I think that's.
I think that's all special. Oh, I do too.
No,
I just think with Fields, he started enough in college. Like, he's not a guy that started 1 year. I know that even the Big Ten season was shortened last year, but he's still with the Big Ten championship and 2 playoff games. He still played 9-10 games. Like, he basically had 2 full seasons of starting at Ohio State. Put him in there. Like, see what he can do.
I mean, that's my thing.
Even if he struggles early, like, you know Dalton's going to struggle. Like, you know he's not going to flourish.
But you also know that there's no way they start him first game. You just know it.
No,
especially the way where
it's the job preservation. He's going to put him in the end of the year.
Exactly.
And just be like, give me a full year with Fields.
And especially that Dalton comes out. I love that. That's such a bad thing.
It's my time.
It's like, Justin Fields going to have a great career. He really is. But it's my time.
Like,
I'm the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Andy Dalton, it's your fucking time. And they're trading up to draft quarterbacks because it's your fucking time.
Hey, the Bears tweeted out right when they got Dalton, QB1. So, hey, he's QB1.
Be nice to Andy.
The Bears are the Bears really are something, man. They make me laugh.
Oh, man.
And I love it.
And I think they're going to be a decent team. Like, they're not
I think the defense is
regressing
regressing a little bit.
Yeah,
it is. They still have guys, though.
Roquan Smith and Khalil Mack are still, and Akeem Hicks needs to stay healthy real bad.
For sure.
For them. But the lines will suck. I know that.
Yeah,
they're going to be.
I feel bad for Goff. He's walking into a tough spot.
I love Goff,
especially
too, as a person.
Especially they just lost Galladay too. Like, don't even have. And I mean, I think what you're going to see with the Lions too is. We already talked about Stafford with the Rams, but I think you're going to really appreciate how good Stafford is when you see Goff with Goff with the Lions. You're going to be like,
Goff was my. We talked about who's going to lead the NFL in interceptions. Goff's my pick.
I just feel like they're not going to be able to score for shit.
No, and they don't Galladay either.
Tell me if I'm wrong here with Stafford on the Rams, right? So now he actually has a great situation, right? And it's always been, man, Stafford has so many yards, so many touchdowns. He's just in such a shitty situation. This is a pressure year for him, kind of.
Big time.
Where it's like, all right, now there's no excuses. You kind of have to put up or shove. And I think Stafford's a fucking amazing. I think he's a great quarterback. But I'm just saying, there's no excuses lined up for him that it's like, hey, I'm on the Lions. You know,
no, for sure.
But I think he's just so fired up to get out of that awful situation in Detroit.
I'm just saying,
and to play with McVay.
It's a little pressure for him.
And the fact that he's coming into what was the best defense in football last year.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that when you're used to the Lions giving up 30 points a game and he's having to score 40.
Mm-hmm. But it's just going to be interesting. I'm actually happy to watch him on a good team.
No, I am too, because for years he's been just on those awful
and still putting up numbers.
Yeah,
awful Detroit teams. I'm curious. One other team I want to ask about: how good do y'all think Tennessee's going to be with this AJ Brown, Julio?
The offense, the sky's the limit. It's just the defense.
Can they stop anybody?
It's just the defense. I just don't like. I thought they were. I don't know the stats on. I remember there was a point in time they were an unbelievable overs team last year. They can score a shit ton, but they give up a ton of points, and I just feel like. I don't know exactly what they did to really shore up the defense as much.
There's still some questions.
Like they just that's what I'm saying. They
lost
just have
a bunch of guys,
especially the secondary.
Will Compton.
There you go.
There you go.
That's the answer.
Sign Will Compton. But let me tell you something, Mincy. The Tennessee Titans are going to be my Falcons. They're going to be I'm going to bet them every single week, and I feel like they're going to disappoint me. Just seeing Julio get on that team is
oh man.
He looks
Julio,
good.
AJ Brown, Derrick Henry.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
Come on now.
They lost Jonnu Smith, which hopefully doesn't hit him as.
And don't think I'm going to stop betting the Falcons. With Pitts now,
come on.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how
the Falcons.
I don't know what to think. Arthur Smith, they hired Tennessee's offensive coordinator as their new coach.
Yep.
But Mike Davis, and Derek.
I did good last year.
A little different.
They're gonna have 5 wins.
I was able to shed my addiction to betting the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, I couldn't.
Pretty early last season.
Can't shake it.
That definitely went well for me. I probably relapsed a couple times, but
you for sure did. Probably because of me.
Absolutely did. It's you just stare there. You're like, damn, they were so close to winning that Super Bowl 51.
You just look at the receivers like, holy shit.
But now with Julio, I think that's going to go away because now I'm going to be like, they have no
That's
one.
why it's my moving.
It feels like they have no one left from the team with Matt Ryan, even though they do have.
That's why I'm moving to the Titans.
They have quite a bit of guys.
I'm going to take a couple of calls, and then we're going to get our picks in, guys. First, we got a call here from, is it Little Songer? A call from Dallas. Jake wants to talk college football. You're on Pick Central. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Mincy? Thanks for taking my call.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I know we've kind of talked to this Clemson-Georgia game to nauseum, but I just find this quarterback matchup so intriguing. JT Daniels, modern day, and then DJ from St. John Bosco, two of the best high school programs in the country. JT Daniels beats him twice in their high school career. And I was just kind of curious, who do you think has the quarterback edge in this matchup? Because obviously JT has played way more games, but DJ is such a raw talent. He can do a little more. I wanted to hear your thoughts on that and why I should not bet the over, because it just
you just hit what I think, and I love over 52.5. I don't think that's near high enough with these two quarterbacks. I know Georgia and Clemson both have elite defenses. Clemson's D-line, especially this year, looks incredibly stout. But 52.5 is not enough. I mean, I feel like the quarterback play is good enough on both sides to where this one's going to be like 34-27.
Yeah, I think people are definitely worried about Clemson weapons. Like, I feel like that's been. Obviously, they have Justin Ross, who's very good, but I feel like that's something I've seen a lot. I think it feels like ETN was there forever, and him not being there, just having that big play threat and that guy you can just give it to 25 times, or at least a guy that you can do that. We don't know what they have right now at the running back position.
As far as that game goes, I would lean Georgia in the points because it feels like a toss-up.
I feel the same way.
So if it's a toss-up, just give me the 3.5. I'll also reiterate something I've said several times. Charlotte's a neutral site. That's not a Clemson home game. So thank you for the call. Take another one. We've got a call from Wyatt from Massachusetts. Wanted to call NFL. What's up, Wyatt? You're on Pick Central. Or you're not.
What's up, boys?
Not a man. What's on your mind?
I wanted to talk PFL tonight. I got a pick for the Pro Fight League.
Okay.
Oh, love it.
I got Christian Lawson at even money over Jonas Flock. Lawson is 6 inches taller, has a much significant reach advantage. Yeah, I'll just take him at even money.
It's never good when I was like.
It's PFL. This is
like
PFL. It's MMA.
No, I know what it is. I when you say PFL, not many people are gonna be like, yeah.
It's on ESPN 2 now.
I like Ev's.
I've been watching it.
I like Ev's enthusiasm. All right. Well, thank you for the call and the bet. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, man. Have a good one, guys.
All right.
I'll ride the pick. I'll be watching a little bit.
We got Andrew from Florida talking college football. What's up, Andrew? You're on Pick Central.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Just calling about a quick little. I also wanted to jump on your Browns pick earlier. I think they have a 10.5 wins for this season. They had 11 last year, add extra game. They are loaded with a lot of depth on defense. I mean, you guys talked about their offensive weapons. I think Baker behind a comfortable O-line. 11 seems very easy. If they had it last year as an extra game, I think that's easy. But I do have a sleeper Heisman pick. Tank Bigsby out of Auburn.
Okay.
It's going to be a sophomore season. Bobo's going to be moving over from South Carolina. He had Kevin Harris go for 1,100 yards last season. I think Tank's a really skilled back. He's got decent odds, but, just a little sleeper if you want to sprinkle some here and there.
Yeah, the thing with Bigsby, Auburn's going to run the ball. They got 4 starters back on the O-line. Bo Nix, still a lot of questions at quarterback. The problem is in the Heisman, you got to win 10 or 11 games to have a chance. And I think Auburn is going to struggle greatly to get there.
That's what I was going to say. I don't hate the look. I just think when you see the guys who win the Heisman, it's literally somebody on one of the best teams. I just don't think Auburn's going to be that good. But honestly, really the only guys we've seen win from not these elite teams is you have to just light it up. You have to be that Lamar Jackson year or the Manziel year. You have to not be an elite top 5-10 team and win the Heisman. You have to just a running back. You'd have to run for 2,500 yards. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was doing that. He couldn't even get invited.
Yeah,
it's just really hard to win the Heisman unless pretty much you're the quarterback of a playoff.
No,
team.
I agree, and
that's just kind of how it is.
I don't think Auburn's going to win.
It sucks, but that's kind of how it is.
I do appreciate the call though. Nick in PA wants to talk some NFL. What's up, man? You're on Pick Central.
What's up, Mincy? Thanks for taking my call. As I've been on the line here, I can't tell you how much I love this pick. I've got the New York Giants over 7 minus 130.
Great pick.
As a Giants fan, I've never been more excited for this season. We got our weapons on offense. The only question is the offensive line. Daniel Jones was playing hurt last year. He should be good. Saquon's back. We got the weapons. Some of them are going to get injured. Brought in John Ross, Kadarius Toney. And this defense, we were playing with 6th, 7th round picks making plays last year. We have every starting role filled. I can't tell you how much I'm in love with this pick. At worst, it's a push. Let me know your thoughts.
I mean, you're going to get 2 people that agree with you. But you're right that this is the first season in a while where it's on Sunday, I can't wait to put the Giants game on where it's I'll put the Giants game on, but I'm watching Red Zone. You know what I mean?
It's basically been since that last year, basically since the playoff year that we lost to the Packers in that bad game. ever since then, it's just been a disaster.
I think y'all had 46 losses last season.
We had pretty much like the worst record over like a 3-year span, and last year we finally saw some hope. Joe Judge has turned things around. Betcher and the defense have turned things around. There's much reason to be excited. I'm almost getting so excited that it's like scaring me because it's like we have the weapons are in place. So now the defense should be very good. The offensive line has definitely improved. Andrew Thomas hopefully coming in his second year as a left tackle. Hopefully can solidify us a little bit, give some stability there. Hopefully Daniel Jones isn't fumbling the ball every other play. That's something that scares me too. It's kind of just set up where I'm just scared of like, I guess partly of Daniel Jones just like still not being able to flourish, even having kind of no excuses. They've been talking about how good Shepard looks. Obviously, we have Galladay. If Evan Ingram could catch a fucking ball, we might have won the division last year.
It's Daniel Jones' year.
It has to be. If you're gonna do it, this has to be.
Yeah, I'm worried about Galladay already having a hamstring injury, and I'm worried just having him, Ingram, and then Barkley maybe out till week 3 now.
And Tony's having some COVID problems.
I know the defense will be good, but I just got some questions on. Like, I feel like in theory the offense should be awesome if everybody's out there healthy.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I'm a little worried still.
That's the thought process. That's what scares me.
I do like
it should work. But just because it should on paper doesn't mean it's just going to.
All right, let's get to our picks for the day. Appreciate you guys calling in to Pick Central. We'll catch more calls tomorrow for sure. Let's take a look at them. I only had a couple today, personally.
It's a weird card.
It is.
It's the getaway.
It's the getaway Thursday. So you got some early games. I know Ev, you love the early stuff.
Yep.
Last night. Ooh, I got destroyed. Yeah, I knew.
Tough night for everybody.
Yeah, the 0-5.
Well, 2-2 we'll all take.
For sure. I've had back-to-back 1-3.
Yeah, I was having a pretty good month until last night.
Let's show the month, you know?
Yeah, I know, Marty.
It's not bad to show the month sometimes.
Marty, you been hot?
Yeah, just staying afloat right now. Last night was great for the Yankees for me. I mean, again, the reason why I'm doing so well is probably because of the Yankees.
They're on a heater, and you're riding them, though.
Yeah, but I'm riding them again tonight with the Yankees minus 1.5. I have also the Cardinals today against the Brewers. They are a plus 170, which is, I mean, Woodruff.
It's Woodruff versus
Woodruff's dirty.
Versus Leicester.
Versus Leicester. So you're trying to get a little bit out of Leicester. I think you're taking a little bit of a flyer, and plus 170 for them is great. And I also got the Angels. The Tigers aren't doing it for me. Quintana it's going to be an over game. They both fucking have 6 ERAs, and Manning is no to fucking bat your eye at. He stinks too. So I'm going with the Angels, and we really quick just have to take into consideration that we are watching the best baseball player of all time in Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What he's doing. 40 home runs and with a sub 3 ERA and 8.
I mean, we're in mid-August.
Insane,
he's still.
bro.
I mean, he could get to 55.
It's insane.
He's literally. I think he's minus 1,000 right now to win AL MVP. I feel like that's like free money.
Yeah,
it's almost
how does he not get it?
It should be minus 5,000.
How does he not get it? It should almost be like off the board.
Like we should all put our money together and just put it on it.
Like how does he not get MVP? Even like Vlad was at one point was flirting with like a triple crown year. I mean, that's not going to happen, I don't think. But regardless, I mean, how could you not? He's undeniable. He's undeniable.
What you got today, F?
So, honestly, going off what Marty said, Angels-Tigers, I'm on the over 9.5. Big over day for me today. I'm on the Rays team total over 5.5. I think that's an over game, too. I like the over in the game as well. Should have put on my card. I didn't. I got a Rays over 5.5. Angels-Tigers over 9.5. I'm on Yankees on the run line. And we got White Sox against the lefty at 2 o'clock over 4.5 runs. Let's go.
I just have 3 picks. I got the Reds by 1.5, the Brewers by 1.5, and the Reds team total over.
And North Carolina
it can't be worse than 0-5 yesterday.
Has passed sports betting.
Marty, quickly.
North Carolina passed sports betting.
What'd you say?
Quickly, give me a review of Smitty's card.
Wow, Jesus Christ, he's such
he's
doing it again. He's being an asshole.
That last pick already lost. But
it already lost. Oh, Philly. Okay, so good. That's a loser. I mean, he's doing parlays. He's trying to get back because he's losing. He's integrity of the game's going.
Guy
down.
comes in for 1 month, trying to act like a fool.
Rico will be back tomorrow. Thank y'all for tuning in to Pick Central. Stay tuned for the Ack up next.